Friends, hello everyone, my name is Panasyuk, and I'm heading out to a new, completely uninhabited island where I've never been before. But this time, I've set myself a serious challenge. Specifically, I'm going to live on this completely uninhabited island until my channel reaches 1 million subscribers. Whether I'll succeed or not, we'll soon find out. I'm boarding the plane and rising into the sky. It's a long flight for me. Also, thanks to your likes on the videos, I'll be receiving additional missions. For example, if a video gets 5,000 likes, then in the next episode, I'll have to make fire using sticks. For 6,000 likes, catch prey with a spear and so on, increasing with the number of likes. The more likes a series gets, the more interesting the mission will be the next day. After many hours, I arrived in a tropical country. Well, friends, I've landed, and now I'm walking along the promenade, looking for a ship that will take me to the new uninhabited island. Good news, friends. I found a captain, found a new ship. Tomorrow at 6 a.m. He'll pick me up here at the pier, and we'll set off in search of a new uninhabited island. Right now, I'm going to eat well first because I've been traveling all day and haven't eaten anything yet. I still have a whole week of survival on the uninhabited island ahead of me. So today, I'll stuff myself for a whole week ahead. Then I'll settle into a hotel, rest up a bit, spend the night, and tomorrow, into battle. And for those who are interested, the cost of renting the ship is $250. A person will take me tomorrow. Why a ship? Because look, it's a big ship. So friends, I've checked into the hotel. The cost of this pleasure is only $20, and that's enough for me to get a good night's sleep. And at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, we set off again. Good night. Good morning, friends. I'm already awake, heading to the pier, hoping that the ship is waiting for me there and we're off to the island. When I arrived at the pier, the captain of the ship was already waiting for me. I loaded my things on board and set sail. Well, friends, I'm already on board the boat, having one last cup of tea and embarking on a quest for new adventures. I'm sailing to a new, completely uninhabited island where there are no signs of civilization, where there are no people, no houses, no roads. It'll just be me and the wild nature. And I hope I'll manage to catch some big sea monster. Wish me luck. At first glance, the ocean seemed very calm, but the further I sailed from the shore, the stronger the waves became. The ship was tossed around on the waves like a little toy, and on the horizon, I saw dolphins. Remember my saying, if dolphins accompanied the boat, it means that luck will be on my side during fishing. I'd like to believe it'll be the same this time. Then, on the horizon, I saw a whole flock of cormorants, and beneath them, a whole school of large tuna attacking small fish. I really wanted to cast my fishing rod there, but I don't have time for that. I'm staying the course to the new uninhabited island. Well, friends, the island is straight ahead. I'll find a convenient spot where I can park the ship and disembark. We'll explore this island together. I've never been there before. So, I immediately noticed that the water here is crystal clear and there's a very beautiful coral reef. On one hand, I won't be able to walk around much here because I don't want to damage this beauty. On the Shark Island, as you remember, after the bombing by poachers, the coral reef was destroyed. You could walk there, but here it's so beautiful that I'll have to find a place where I can move around. But for underwater hunting, for filming the underwater world, this is an ideal location. Very beautiful, very clean water. I hope there's plenty of fish too, because on the approach to this island, I saw many schools of dolphins and cormorants were hitting the water, hitting the small fish. This means that there's small fish here, and predators should be here too. I hope I'll manage to catch some sea monster. The island is very beautiful. There are rocks and a beach area where I can comfortably set up my camp. Trees are here. They'll be able to hide me from the blazing sun. Overall, to explore and explore. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it will be interesting.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oops, okay. Wow, I'm strong. I'm pulling the whole ship. Found a place here where there's a broken coral reef. And I can move forward here. Look at me. I'm a strong guy. Not a boat, but a ship. A big ship. I'm pulling it all by myself because I'm strong, I'm powerful, I'm great. Let's go, let's go. They say it won't work. It will. So the most important thing. Fishing gear. So what do we have underwater here? Wow, it's so beautiful here, friends. Somewhere around here, I'll set up my camp. Wow, it's very beautiful here. Here, it's very beautiful. So you need to watch your step because there could be snakes and fish and rocks here. Oh my, there's a big hole right near the shore. Look, the water is already up to my waist. What a surprise. Fresh water. Good. Invigorating. Well, island, here I come. Oops. Let's get acquainted. Well, friends, phew, I made it to the island. My things have been moved. Look, just as I got here, I noticed something moving, and it's such a beautiful shell. A mollusk, and I know it's edible and quite tasty, by the way, but it's small. I hope I'll manage to catch something more interesting than this shell, and if not, I'll look for bigger mollusks and cook them on the fire. And this one, let it keep moving in its direction for now. So this is like a freebie for me, a bonus. Someone from a boat, most likely fisherman, dropped a bottle of water. I'll leave it, check it, maybe it's clean, fresh water that just fell off the boat. It fits. I need to gather all resources right away. Whatever useful things I find on the island, I'll use them wisely. Whew. Friends, look. I've just arrived and there's already a shark here. They usually come towards noise. A little shark swam by. Well, there's some source of food already. And you write to me in the comments under the video. Catch the shark, cook it on the fire or not. Of course, friends, I'll try to catch another fish and eat it, so as not to disturb the sharks. But if necessary, we'll see. If I need food, I'll have to catch a shark and cook it. Well, friends, that's it. I'm alone on this completely uninhabited island. First of all, I need to dress, because the sun here... Because the sun here is merciless, it will burn very quickly. I'll explore the island's territory, set up camp, and start looking for prey. So while I'm moving in my flip-flops at my own risk, you shouldn't do that. Here, under this big tree, I really like the place. From this side, I'll have a view of the ocean. From this side, you can see the whole island and this side of the island. You can control the weather. Plus, there's enough open space here for the wind to blow, so I won't be so hot. but at the same time, there are enough leaves here to create some extra shade for me to hide from the blazing sun. I'll set up camp here. I'll take out my hammock from the backpack and I'll sleep in it. First of all, I'll hang the hammock. Let's check now. So friends, I tied the hammock to another tree, to a thicker tree. Let's see how it turns out. Oh, that's better. A fire. Now I need to tie up the tarp. I think it's good. I don't know what I'm getting into. There could be some swamp here. Crocodiles, caimans. Yeah, that's right, there's a swamp here. Exploring this island. It's very interesting. Look how beautiful it is here. And there, on top of the mountain, there's a cave formed in the rocks. I definitely need to go up there. Maybe I can also set up some kind of kitchen there. And I'm also worried it might rain. It's very beautiful here. I've made a circle around and returned to my camp. Friends, the sun is just relentless. It burns very strongly. I'll put on pants because my legs will burn instantly. It's very hot. Looks like the rainy season is over, and now it's going to be scorching hot like this. The bay on this island, which I chose on the map to set up my camp, is very much like Shark Islands. It's such a calm place, convenient for underwater hunting with a sandy beach where you can set up camp. Along the edges of this bay, there are tall cliffs that will shield me from the strong wind. The only thing I noticed is that this island is larger and wider, and there are much fewer trees here, but it's not a big deal. It'll be enough for me. To catch prey, I'll use my homemade bamboo spear. It's ready for action. I just need to attach the tip. There are some interesting rocks here. I'm sure I'll need to catch something with a lantern at night. I think crabs live here. Maybe I haven't figured out the tide phase yet. I think it's high tide. Maybe during low tide, lakes will form here. And there will be some fish in these rocks. Let's see. For now, I need to explore the island, see what else is interesting here. But I definitely like these rocks, because in such places, there can be fish, squids, and crabs. You can set a crab trap here, specifically in the water. Overall, the location is interesting. I like the island. There's diversity here. The main thing is to have some catch. Let's walk around these mangrove bushes and see if there are any oysters. And maybe some creatures live inside these roots. Bam! Darn, it's already deep here. Should have been a bit earlier. The water level is up to my chest now. If you didn't notice just now, under my feet, to the right, from under the mangrove bushes, a stingray swam out. Well, that's unexpected. Fresh water, a bit cool, but I think it should be shallower over there. Okay, so, do you have any oysters here or not? Bushes? Are there any with oysters? I don't see any big oysters. That's not good. But these small shells growing on the rocks here are very good for bait when fishing with a rod. Look, you could try making a broth out of them. They're meaty mollusks. Note taken. At least there's some source of protein just in case. But I think there should be crabs here in the evening. They must be... The water here is cold. Probably because of the current. There's a strong current over there. I want to go to that corner to check out the fishing spot. But it's deep now because of the tide. Maybe during low tide, I need to check or go over that rock to the other side and check there. The water level has risen here. I might have to swim. But fishing with a rod in such depth is not an option. So, I hope in the evening there will be low tide, and the water level will drop enough for me to stand there comfortably and fish. Or I'll have to climb over this rock with my rod and go around. I looked at the map. There's a sharp angle there, right next to the current. I think that's the most interesting fishing spot on this island. That's why I landed on this side. First injury, friends. I stepped on a board with a nail. I haven't hit boards with nails since childhood. Well, it happens, it happens. Just washed it off with some water. And surprisingly, I have some minimal first aid with me now. Thanks a lot to my better half. She's caring. And I'm always like, whatever. Anyway, I need to wash it because rusty nails are not good. Actually, even such a small injury on the island can be a big problem. In a tropical, humid, and warm climate, there are many parasites and infections. And through such a small wound, you can easily get blood poisoning. It's my very first day on the island, where half of my time I'm walking barefoot, on wet, dirty sand and also in the ocean. So even with such a small injury, I need to be very careful and cautious, especially when fishing in the ocean. This is such a nuisance. Hidden in the grass. And this stupid nail was enough anyway to puncture my flip-flop and my foot. If I were wearing coral sneakers, the essence would be the same. Their soles are rubber too. They would have been punctured just the same. Also, first thing under the tarp, I need to gather dry wood in case of rain. Sometimes, in the middle of the night or in the evening, a tropical downpour starts. Everything gets wet, and then it's very difficult to start a fire. So you need to think about it in advance. Well, friends, I put on my pants because there's tall grass, lots of insects, and the blazing sun out there. So I'll be hiding a bit under clothing. Here it's clearly visible that beyond the rocks there's blue water. And then bam! There's an immediate cliff, depth, and you can see there's a current. It's a great spot for spinning fishing. So friends, look at this interesting piece I found. At first I thought it was a piece of salt, then I thought it was some kind of glass fragment, and then I thought it might be some kind of chalcedony variety, with which I can make fire. In general, it's a very interesting mineral. Look inside, there are small crystals. And first of all, I'll try to combine it with my steel plate. And with the help of this mineral, strike a spark to make fire. Or I'll just study it because inside, look here, there are such small inclusions. Very beautiful crystals. I think it's something very rare and beautiful. If there are any experts watching me now who know about minerals, please write to me in the comments under the video what mineral it is and what it's called. I'll be very grateful. It seems to me that if it's split into two parts, there are such beautiful crystals inside. But I don't want to break it. Let it remain whole like this, just as nature created it. And I'll take this piece with me as a keepsake. I'll use it to make fire, or maybe just as a souvenir. I'll take it from this island as a memento, or give it away to one of you, my subscribers, in my Instagram or Telegram channel. Such a beautiful mineral. You look at it from different angles, and from each side, it's beautiful and unique in its own way. I don't know, I just love to admire beautiful stones, minerals, or even fragments of wood like this. It's amazing what nature can create. And I also think that maybe today it will rain. Let's see. Well, in principle, the picture has cleared up a bit. Now it's clear what needs to be done. I've only taken with me the most powerful, the strongest spinning rod I have, and let's go all in. As usual, friends, either catch a sea monster or nothing. Just like that. Wow, friends, this is a big fish. I'm not kidding. Woohoo! That was cool. Darn, I thought it would be a plate, but it somehow grew into the rock. Not attached. I thought it was pressed by a stone, but no, it somehow grew into it. Oh well. While I was exploring the island, setting up my camp, the day flew by very quickly, and the sun had already begun to set below the horizon. Night fell, and I still haven't caught anything. So let's see, maybe crabs have come out, or sea snakes. I have a desire to catch a sea snake and cook it. It's high time to try what a snake tastes like. Friends, let's try to get 15,000 likes on this video, and I promise I'll catch a snake and cook it. It's just a few seconds for you, but a big help for me, because your feedback shows me that I'm filming what you really like, and it helps promote my videos, so it's not difficult for you. Just one click, but a big help for me. Thank you. Oh look, wow friends, and this looks like a spring. It's very much like a spring, look, or it's rainwater. Let's not rush, maybe this water appeared after the rain. It flows from the island off the mountains. Tomorrow, when it's not raining, I'll come here and check. Is there a source of fresh water here, or was it rainwater? It would be cool if this were a real water source. I'd replenish fresh water here. Look again, only the shell is left from the mollusk. Look, very beautiful, isn't it? Take it with me or give it to someone as a gift. Look over there on the distant rock. I see a good crab, but it's slippery and dangerous here. Darn, where did it go? Only small ones. Where's the big one? While I was thinking about how to get to it, it already ran away. Oh, here are the big ones. Look. A good crab. Look, this one is big, and there's another one sitting next to it. I need to not scare it away and also take it. Today we'll eat crabs. I have no choice. I really want to eat. I took the cheapest, most primitive machete with me for dirty work, so to speak. Somewhere to clear bushes. But I brought it with me now only for one purpose, to catch a snake. Right now, any catch is important to me. Even these small crabs. After that, I took the equipment for underwater hunting, put on a mask and snorkel, and dove underwater with a spear. The ocean is very different at night. Peaceful fish calmly hide under rocks while dangerous toothy predators emerge to hunt. Just like this shark here. Despite its small size, it boldly swam up to me to inquire about who I am and what I'm doing here. Finally, I managed to catch some prey. Although the fish is small, it's something at least. In addition to the crabs, it'll make a small snack. I cleaned the fish, and with a found stone and a piece of steel plate, I made a fire. I'll cook the caught fish on it. And of course, I couldn't ignore the shark, underwater at night. As soon as I made a couple of spear shots, made some noise underwater, immediately I see something reflecting somewhere in the distance, some little eye, and a small reef shark swam up. It wanted to know if I had caught anything yet. In the end, friends, with the help of the spear, I managed to catch this fish. I caught a few crabs on the rocks too. My nose is stuffed up because I've been swimming in cold water for too long. And I also wanted to mention that when you're engaged in underwater hunting in the ocean, equipment is important. I've been told that a million times, and I want to convey that to you through the video. It's very important. It's your safety. Today, underwater, I saw a lot of jellyfish. I usually don't notice jellyfish, but there are jellyfish here. And when their slime gets on your face or hands, it burns very badly. It feels like someone put out a match on your hand. It's very painful. It got on my face and on my hand too. So friends, engage in underwater hunting with equipment. It was very quiet and peaceful on the island at night. I only heard the sound of the waves, the sounds of the night jungle, and the most pleasant sound, the sound of the nighttime fire. And while I shared my emotions with you, my fish is already cooked. Look! And I also saw that same spotted stingray. Big. Friends, this time I gave it a chance. Big, good, juicy. I only noticed its tail. It was swimming. I wanted to capture it for you. But I only noticed the tail. I'm sure you couldn't see it in the video. But who knows? Maybe you did notice it too. In short, later I saw another one under a rock. It was light, easy. You could catch it with a spear gun. A beautiful creature. Big. And firstly, if I had already caught it, it would have been better to do it during the day. So I could prepare it nicely and show it to you. And dealing with a big stingray at night, that's really troublesome. So this time I decided to give it a chance. But during the day, if I encounter it again, I'll definitely catch it and prepare it nicely, deliciously, and juicy. For now, I'll get by with this fish here. That's it, all sorted out. Well, I handled the task. Caught some food. Got some fresh water. I think for the first day it's quite good. Let's rest. Time to go to sleep. Well, friends, I think it's quite good for the first day. It's been productive and I really like the island. And if you like this series, only in that case give it a thumbs up and definitely subscribe to my channel. Share this video with your friends. And as soon as we reach 15,000 likes on this video, I'll immediately publish the continuation. Tomorrow's day, the next episode. Don't miss it. Good night, everyone. Good morning, friends. Hello, everyone. Thank you for your feedback. You're awesome. And this means that thanks to your likes on the video, today I received an additional mission. I must try to catch a real shark. Well, let's see if I can do it or not. So, after an unsuccessful attempt to catch some prey using my homemade spear, I got wet enough and decided to dry my things. But for this, first of all, I need to make fire. Using a stick and my hands, by friction, I managed to get a spark, which I put into a coconut shell. I blew on the spark a little more, and then transferred everything to dry grass and kindled a fire. With this fire, I will be able to dry my things. While my shorts are drying, I will continue exploring the island, and I'll look for a promising spot where today I will try to catch a shark. Took a machete in my hand, camera with me, and I'm going up there to the height. I'll go to those cliffs and see if there's an approach there, because soon the sun will start to set, the tide will go out, and I'll need to somehow get to that corner to fish with a spinning rod. Reconnaissance is needed. I took the spear just in case. Maybe on the way I'll encounter some prey and be able to catch it. Let's go. Just look at this beauty. Friends, I will definitely take a fragment from this island as a keepsake. But as far as I know, you can't take corals from the islands, and especially carry them with you on the plane. You can get punished for that, but I'll take some souvenir for myself and for one of you. From each island, I want to leave a memory for myself. Well, and possibly give away some souvenir to one of the subscribers. Damn, it's so beautiful here. I'll create additional noise because snakes love to make their nests in such dry grass. In the sun where it's warm, so to avoid surprises for both me and them, I'll warn them with a machete, creating noise like this. By the way, snakes, as the locals explained to me, don't hear sound. That is, my voice doesn't scare them. They hear vibrations. So when you stomp your foot, then it hears. Or if you create some vibration on the ground with a branch, the snake will also hear it. And it understands that a person is approaching and ideally should move away from my path. But I also try to be attentive. Damn, my toe hurts. It shouldn't have happened like this. There was such grass, completely overgrown, and I stepped on it, and it turned out there was some fragment of a broken boat or something in the grass. There was a big rusty nail sticking out, and it pierced my shoe. And along with the shoe, my foot hurts a lot. The main thing is not to introduce any infection there, because it will be bad. Now, I had experience with this before. The wound gets inflamed, then everything spreads through the blood. In general, it's a bad thing. So friends, damn, look at how beautiful and clean the water is. And there it's an immediate drop. Most likely with the spinning rod, I'll come out here to the corner. Damn, it's so beautiful here. Friends, I'm in a good mood. It's very beautiful here. I really like it. I really like it here. I hope that the island won't disappoint me in terms of catch either, because it looks cool from the outside. Different relief, there are rocks, there's grass, and there's a beautiful bay for my camp. But at the same time, there's also a big cliff, deep water, and strong currents, which should be good for fishing. In general, for now, it's all talk, but I hope I'll back it up with action. And I found the first place where I will settle and fish. Look right here. It's all fine here. Then suddenly there's a drop. From this rock, you'll be able to cast a fishing rod. Also, I like that corner over there. You can climb up there too, and cast from there. And that corner is closer to my camp. If there's a decent descent, we'll need to cast from there too. Moving through the jungle, on this island. There are these inconspicuous plants, and on their leaves. Camera focus. On their leaves, or rather on their branches, there are very sharp thorns. Can you see them or not? Anyway, they really catch on to clothes. Can you see them well over there? They really catch on to clothes. And also injure hands and legs. Then salt. Sweat gets into the wounds. And with the lack of hygiene, infection occurs, the skin becomes inflamed, wounds form, and staying on the island becomes much more difficult. It's dangerous. You need to be attentive. Look around. These thorns are very common here on the path, and I've already hurt my legs. Look how beautifully the wind and water have shaped the tree. My dad always had an aquarium at home all his life. And when we were walking near the Dnieper, we looked for similar driftwood. And then Dad would sink them into our aquarium, and such original things pleased the eye. If I had an aquarium, I would also take this piece and sink it. Let the fish swim there. Very beautiful. If you've had or have an aquarium too, give a thumbs up. Despite my small strategic food and freshwater reserves, my main task is to maximize the use of the island's resources and to use my reserve only in the most extreme cases. So despite this, I always need to find food for myself and also replenish the source of fresh water additionally. And now I will show you the simplest but at the same time the most effective method of obtaining fresh water in tropical jungles. So friends, mediocre news. Not bad and not good. It started to rain. By the way, it's quite beautiful. So there, it's beautiful, but the rain is dripping on my head. But this is actually a good moment to collect fresh water for myself. So, you need to find a plastic bottle and cut it, just like I did on Shark Island. Here, the bottle is attached to this corner, and fresh water will flow into this bottle. Then boil it and you can drink it confidently. So let's go find plastic bottles. The rain knocked me off my schedule a bit, and my leg hurts. But the sun is already setting, slowly. I didn't even have time to go spearfishing, because I'm heading to the fishing spots. Took the fishing rod, assembled it, then I'll show you later. I love showing the gear that I use. But this time there really wasn't time, because I see that time flew by very quickly and I should already be at the fishing spots. So let's go! Like this way? Let's go, snakes! I don't have time to deal with you. Just heading to the clearing. My finger hurts. Damn rusty nail. Shouldn't have caught it like that. Over there! And finally, I reached the fishing spot. Thanks to your likes, today I got an additional mission, namely to catch a shark. I really hope that I can do it from this spot. So, first cast. Very strong current from right to left. So I move to another corner. I'll try casting here. Today it's just a general reconnaissance. Before tomorrow's morning fishing, need to understand the places. Friends, that hurricane worries me. Look! It's something serious. Just black sky, black heavy rain, and there! Such a funnel has formed. And there's just nothing visible. Just nothing visible. If this hurricane is heading towards my island, today won't seem enough for me. I really hope it's the rain that passed by me and went in that direction. Looks very dangerous. And on this side, everything is so calm, so beautiful. Green grass, the sun breaking through the clouds, and there's a hurricane just rushing. So, where are you, shark? Friends, it seemed to me, at first I thought there was a current there, over there. I threw the bait there, didn't reach that spot of course. But right next to my bait, a whole school of fish, so it's possible that a predator scared the small fish upwards. Some kind of anomaly formed there, need to cast again. Friends, I almost fell. Wow. Friends, that's a big fish. I'm not joking. No, no. Friends, it was a huge fish. A very big fish. It almost knocked me off my feet. I'm not joking. It's not an act. The fish pulled me. I almost flew off those rocks. Friends, for the first time, I feel such weight on the other end of the line. Wow, wow, wow. There was really some kind of monster on the hook. At first, I thought I hooked onto a coral because it was so tough. It didn't budge. Then it yanked me, and I almost slipped off the rocks. Then I tried to reel in again. The fish pulled me back. I almost fell off those rocks, so I had to sit down hard. Because if the fish had yanked me, I would have fallen into the water with the fishing rod. It was a big fish. That was cool. Wow, it's shaking me up. I'll try casting again, maybe it'll bite. I'm so intrigued. The bite was kind of, it took maybe on the pause, like it was pulling in a boring, monotonous way. I didn't get it. Then bam, bam, it pulled hard. Overall, it doesn't seem like a GT behavior. I don't know what it was, but it was really something huge. So, friends, I have bad news. It's really a hurricane, and it's coming towards me. It's approaching, so, oh, I feel trouble ahead. From that side, I could see other islands. Now I can't see anything. Just black sky, and a funnel cloud is heading straight for my island. Oh, disaster! Disaster! Friends, to say that I'm stunned is an understatement. Honestly, I've never felt such force before. When a fish pulls, and you're not thinking about how to reel it in again, but you're thinking, darn, it's going to take the fishing rod, darn, I'm about to fall. That moment when I was really scared that, friends, I tried hard to catch a shark, but so far I haven't succeeded. But that doesn't mean I'm giving up. I will definitely complete this additional mission. Alright friends, I need to run because I feel a very strong wind coming up. Cold strong wind. The cloud is almost above me now. There's going to be a hurricane. I need to take cover. Well friends, I won't call this a storm, but a pretty strong rain passed by. Nothing interesting happened. I hid what could get wet in bags. Parts of the equipment and myself in the hammock. Also grabbed a little water. Decided not to waste time, took a spear, a flashlight, and went for a walk along the shallows. I'll see if I can catch something. But I don't see any crabs. And no sea snakes either. What do we have here in the mangrove bushes? Is there anything edible? Maybe some fish swimming around or a stingray. Stingrays love to lurk in those roots. Well, or they just rest. I don't know. Oh, look at that. Wow. Here's the root of some tree. I wonder how old it is. So I don't see anything useful, no edible stuff. And squids, none either. So I don't see any nocturnal fish in the water either. Friends, I'm really hungry now. The food I ate back in civilization has long since burned. My appetite has grown significantly, my stomach is growling. But so far, the abundance of food doesn't please me. Coconuts. But the empty ones won't do. I'll walk in that direction again, see? Look, there's a school of fish swimming. Tiny ones. Did you see? Did you see? It just jumped into the light. Come here, come here. Wow. I know what kind of fish it is. It's like mullet, only it's a very small school. If it were the same but bigger, it would be a different story. Look, let me try spearfishing now, whether I'll succeed or not. Listen, it seems like it's not afraid of me at all. Let's see. I'll walk like this in the water. Maybe a fish will swim up to the light. I'll attack something. Darn, this fish is swimming right at my feet. Where are you? Darn, friends, I think I stabbed myself in the foot. Besides that nail, darn, it hurts. Need to sit down and see what's there. Oh, survival! Yeah, and there's some splinter in my foot too. Alright, I'll deal with this at the base. Let's go. Such a sea dog. This little fish. I couldn't catch it by hand because some of them have such a spike on their upper fin. And it's very poisonous and can sometimes paralyze a finger. So it's better not to mess with it. So friends, there are crabs here. Finally, finally. While I shouted, the crab ran away, but that's okay. Oh damn, it's really tiny. Well, this one is a bit bigger already. Where are you going, you parasite? There's one. There's a small one, but at least something. there's another catch! There was one more somewhere.
Ooh.
Well, where is it? Oh, friends, this is a jackpot. Damn, 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 come back. Well, it's a big one, damn it. Oh, one more, got it. The big one ran away, but this big one didn't. Look, it's very good. A very good specimen. That's another matter. Why isn't there any fish or squids here? It's already night. The activity is completely different. In the end, with the help of a spear, I managed to catch a small fish and also 5 crabs. Friends, I remind you that thanks to your likes under the video, every day I will receive a new additional mission. With 15,000 likes, I should already catch a shark. With 18,000 likes, catch a barracuda. With 22,000, catch a fish with a spinning rod. With 36,000, build a boat and try to sail to the neighboring island. In general, the more likes the video gets, the more difficult the additional mission becomes. In addition to the additional missions, your likes help promote my videos. And I also want to say a big thank you to my viewers who supported my channel with donations. Their nicknames slightly surprised me, to be honest. In general, Sock, thank you very much. And also Scrappy, let go of the crab, it's Daddy Crab, feel sorry for the family. Got it! I will definitely release the next crab. But anyway, friends, thank you very much for supporting my channel with donations. The donation link is in the description under the video, or you can simply scan this QR code. With the help of a found stone, steel plate, palm bark and toilet paper, I managed to make fire. I'll cook the caught prey on it. Crabs are very tasty. They cook faster on coals than fish over a fire. One crab after molting has a very soft shell. It cleans perfectly. If only they were all like this. Tasty crab. I'm glad they're here on this island too. These crabs surprise me. I always called them sea spiders. They're like some kind of sea cockroaches to me. I never took them seriously, but firstly, they have a decent amount of meat. Secondly, they clean easily, and thirdly, the meat is sweet, tasty, and tomorrow morning I'm heading back to the fishing spots, hoping to catch a sea monster. Friends, kapunka for watching. Only if you like this series, give it a thumbs up, definitely subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your friends. They might really like it. In the comments under the video, be sure to write new ideas for additional missions. See you all later. Good night, friends. Friends, hello everyone. Let's go, because the sun will soon be above the horizon. At this moment, I need to cast my bait. And today is the 3rd day of my survival on this island. At dawn, early in the morning, I went fishing with a spinning rod, hoping to catch either a shark or a barracuda, or at least something to eat. I took the spinning rod in my hands and a variety of lures, several pilkers, several swim baits, and also several poppers. First cast. In the morning, the ocean was calm enough, so I decided to focus on the popper. It's a surface lure that creates big splashes on the water. It attracts the attention of hungry, toothy predators. And just now, such a moment happened. I think you noticed how a big fish attacked near my popper, but this time, not quite. The most important thing is that the fish showed its activity. I got excited and adrenaline rushed, so I continued casting lures into the water. Despite my small strategic food and fresh water reserve, my main task is to maximize the use of the island's resources. And to use my reserve only in the most extreme cases. So despite this, I constantly need to find food for myself and also replenish the source of fresh water. Actually, on completely uninhabited islands, when it comes to obtaining fresh water, it's not as difficult as it might seem at first glance. As you can see, there are a lot of plastic bottles here. A lot. Look, let's go there. I'll explain to you now. Water. 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 Bad water. No water. A little water. Sea water. A little water? Well, I think you got the idea. If you walk along the shore, collect all the fallen water bottles. Very often the wind blows them away, or they simply fall out of the boats of fishermen. And they wash up here on the shore, together with the garbage. Often there is clean, fresh water. It may be old, but you can boil it and confidently drink it. You can collect a lot of fresh water by walking along the shore. So even on the sunniest day, when there is no rain, and even on a completely uninhabited island, you can find a source of fresh water. The main thing is to know where and how. After an unsuccessful fishing trip, I decided to take a spear and try to catch either a shark or a barracuda with its help. Throughout the day, I tried very hard to complete one of the missions. The day was actually very eventful and interesting, but I'll show you the most interesting moments. Let's explore the island further, and I'll adjust to the phases of the tide. If it's high tide and the water level is rising now, then I need to take a crossbow, a spear, a mask, a snorkel, and swim to look for fish underwater. And when it's low tide and it's very shallow here, I'll take the spinning rod and go to the corner, casting lures. Maybe I'll be able to catch a sea monster like a shark or a big tuna. Well, at night, let's see. If it's low tide, a flashlight in hand, into the water. Deep, deep. I want to keep as much of my clothing dry as possible. Because last time, when I was on the island for the second time, because of the rainy season, I just dreamed of being in dry clothes. For at least 10 minutes, the rain mercilessly soaked me all the time. Or the waves would wash over me. And all week, all my clothes were wet and damp. You wake up wet. You fall asleep wet. You wake up, put something on, and it's always wet. It's just so annoying. So this time, I'd like to try to keep some part of my clothes dry. So friends, under this tree, look what a useful find there is. This is a very old bracket fungus. It can be used as kindling, as tinder. It ignites very quickly and easily from the slightest spark. This is a very useful thing. During my survival, I always try to gather easily igniting tinder, so that I always have it at hand. At any moment it might rain. And with fire acquisition, there will be big problems. That's why I also put this bracket fungus in my backpack. I'm sure it will come in handy for me. After Hawaii, I returned to camp. From my inventory, I took out a crossbow for underwater hunting. Finally, its time has come. I take the crossbow, underwater hunting gear, and dive underwater. In my opinion, the highest probability of catching the fish I need is precisely using the crossbow. Because underwater with a mask and snorkel, I can see potential prey. The only issue is that during the day, getting close enough to a barracuda for a shot in such clear water will be very difficult. But I'll try. I put on my underwater hunting gear, mask and snorkel, loaded my crossbow and submerged underwater. There was enough fish on the horizon, but I haven't encountered a shark or barracuda yet. In any case, despite my additional missions, I tried to catch any food for myself. The rock, and here it is. Here you come out. Look how beautiful. And there's my bay. No sharks in sight. The day passed very quickly. The sun set below the horizon and night fell. I took a flashlight and went to explore the night jungle. And at night, the jungle comes alive in a completely different way. Very beautiful and interesting inhabitants of this island emerge to the surface. Like these small hermit crabs. They rustle like little spiders under the branches and don't let me sleep at night. I'm constantly looking around and it feels like someone is walking around my hammock. But over time, I got used to it. Friends, I'm running around like a little child among the bushes again, watching fireflies. Beetles fly and shine. So beautiful. I'm trying to capture it somehow on camera for you. Now I'll find where it is. I'll turn off the flashlight and try to capture it for you on camera. Where are you? I hope you can see it, friends. Little sparks rise up, in threes, in fours, cyclically shining. Damn, it's so beautiful. From the power bank, I recharged my flashlight for underwater hunting. Once again, I took the crossbow in my hands, put on the mask and snorkel, and returned to the ocean to try my luck at night. And as soon as I dove underwater, I immediately saw a fairly large and long fish. I thought it was a barracuda, but when I got closer, I saw that it was a trumpetfish. For its kind, it was quite large in size. At some point, I even aimed with the crossbow and tried to hit it. But it would have been a fantasy. The fish, startled, turned around and swam straight towards me. I even tried to grab it with my hands, but it was very fast and swam away. But immediately after I took the shot and the fish swam away, a small shark swam towards us. And of course, at that moment, my crossbow was already unloaded. The shot and the commotion of the fish underwater immediately caught its attention, but it quickly disappeared into the dark water. But literally a few minutes later, below me, I see a barracuda. I didn't hesitate and made an accurate shot. At the very last moment, she tried to swim away, but this time I was faster. In my experience, it's actually quite rare to encounter a barracuda underwater, but I'm very glad that luck was on my side today. After all, this fish is on my list of additional missions, which means that the first mission is complete. I immediately took out a knife and additionally quickly subdued the fish, took the catch, and returned to the shore. Now, that's success. That's luck. Class. That was lucky. Super. I'm very happy. Barracuda, friends. Whew. Whew, I wanted to grab her by the mouth. Reflex kicked in. She bit my finger. Oh darn, look at that, as a parting gift. Finally, friends, a catch. Look at the barracuda I managed to catch with the help of the crossbow. Look at those teeth. Now that's a predator. Now I'll have a tasty meal. I need to clean it and salt it a bit so it doesn't spoil. And right at dawn, I'll make a campfire and prepare this fish in a beautiful way. You can't cook such beauty at night. I'll endure, my friends, so that everything looks beautiful. That's lucky. I was very glad that this fish turned out to be a barracuda. I'll make a campfire, get warm and dry. After that, I'll return my hammock and go to sleep. I'm heading over there to the rocks. You see that triangular semi-cave? I want to make a fire in it and cook the caught barracuda. Let's go. I decided to cook the barracuda in this cave because on the horizon I saw rain clouds again. It meant that sooner or later it would start raining, which would interfere with me making a fire and cooking my food. High in the sky, a huge eagle watched me. I've met him at the mountaintop more than once. It seems like he's the boss here. He always watches me very attentively from above. And now look and say it's not worth it. Wow. This is it. I didn't climb up here for nothing. Well, to cook the barracuda, I'll gather firewood. And a little dry grass too. It's better not to look down. I'll make fire using a stick. As usual, I put a little coconut shell underneath, put the base on top, took a stick in my hands, and started rotating until a spark appeared. I blew it into a big spark and transferred it to the dry grass. So I managed to make fire without matches or a lighter. We have fire. Friends, I found such a place. We need to move and transfer the fire, but it's nearby, so no problem. Let's go, I'll show you. Look, I wanted to cut a branch to cook the fish on. And then suddenly, I turn my head this way, and here's such a cool cave. Look, and the sun won't bother us. Cozy, cool, cool. There's a place to sit on the tree roots. I like it. Whew, the slope here isn't so steep, and there's a place to sit. It's more comfortable because it's awkward to stand there, slipping down on the rocks below. Damn cool cave. The place I found was very interesting, but the only downside was that this cave didn't offer such a beautiful view of the ocean. I'll cook the fish on this stick, and I decided to go back to the first place after all. It's not as comfortable here, but it's much more beautiful. So I caught this barracuda. A good catch. Let's cut it into pieces and make a fish kebab or skewer. By the way, friends, write down your tips on how to preserve raw fish in a warm climate without having a refrigerator. Perhaps you know some life hacks besides using salt and smoking. What other options are there? Maybe you can hide the fish underwater. And in cold water, it won't spoil as quickly. If you have any ideas, be sure to write them in the comments below the video. Today we'll have this barracuda kebab. To make the fish fry better, I cut it into large, even pieces. Then I put it on the spit, like a big fish skewer, and placed it over the fire. Let the fish roast. The number of sponsors is growing on my channel. Thanks to your support, it's much easier for me to release new episodes. Any viewer can become a sponsor and support the development of my channel, and in return, get early access to new episodes and other small bonuses. You can do this very quickly and easily on the main page of my channel or by following the link in the description below this video. Thank you. I don't know what kind of firewood I managed to gather, but the color of the fish was just magically golden. It looked very beautiful and appetizing. For 18,000 likes, I had to catch a barracuda, and I accomplished this mission. And let's try to get 20,000 likes under this video in a day, so that in the next episode I set traps from AliExpress, and with their help try to catch some prey. I'm sure you can do it. In general, the more likes the video gets in a day, the more challenging and interesting the additional mission will be. And in just 15 minutes, the barracuda was ready. So juicy. Juicy and hot. It's very tasty. Its meat was lean and not fatty. But what pleased me was that there weren't many bones in the barracuda. Taste-wise, it's somewhat similar to our zander. Just look at it. It's very tasty. It's so juicy. This fish will last me the whole day. And I'll take this part of the fish and eat it closer to the evening. While I was sitting and eating, it started raining. And I'm fine here in the cave. It's not dripping at all. I didn't choose this spot for camping for nothing. Friends, thanks for watching. Only if you like this episode, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Share this video with your friends. Maybe they'll like it too. In the comments below the video, be sure to write new ideas for additional missions. Goodbye, everyone. Friends, hello everyone. And today is the 4th day on the uninhabited island. Here's the trap. I like it more. Look, you open it, and that's it. The whole system. And the simpler the system, the more reliable, in my opinion. Plus, here's a net made of such strong thread. There's nothing to break here, and it's well made. I like it. I'll set this one in the coral reef and see what happens underwater, because I'll leave the camera too, so you can watch. Folded and done. Compact, convenient, simple, fast, and reliable. When I flew to Shark Island for the 2nd time, a shark chewed through my 2nd trap. Just destroyed it, but one remained intact. I'll use the leftovers of the caught barracuda as bait. I put on fins, a mask, and a snorkel, and went underwater. I need to find a good spot where I can set the trap. The water was so clear that I felt like I was in a huge aquarium. I chose a good spot near a beautiful coral reef. There should be fish or crabs here, and maybe I'll get lucky and lobsters will climb into the trap. Let's see what I managed to catch. The depth was shallow, but during the tide the water level rises by 2 meters, and that'll be enough. That's it, the trap is set, and in an hour or two I'll dive and check. Look at these tracks. Tap, 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 tap. And to intersect. These are monitor lizards or iguanas or small caimans, but I don't want to waste time, so I took a crossbow in my hands and went on to hunt for prey. Meanwhile, the bait inside my trap attracted the attention of coral inhabitants. And suddenly, in the distance, on the horizon to the left, I saw the silhouette of a huge fish. But the scent of the bait inside the trap didn't interest it. And a little later, a big grouper swam over the trap. The big fish appeared on the horizon again. And this time, it swam closer to the trap. But still, it didn't swim inside. And meanwhile, I continued hunting with the crossbow. Despite having some grilled barracuda left, I wanted to catch something extra for the evening, so that there would be enough food and I wouldn't have to use the strategic reserve. During underwater hunting, I raised my head up and saw that the sky was covered with rain clouds. And that means it will rain again tonight. It's the rainy season in the tropics, so it's not surprising. Here's a good school of fish. I aimed and took a shot. But somehow miraculously, I missed the fish. Moving on. After underwater hunting, I decided to take a walk around the island and check out interesting fishing spots. Wow! This is something. From this height, the whole island will be visible. How beautiful and high it is here. So here, look, there's a good slope down this ridge. And there, at the corner, you come out and cast with a spinning rod. And somewhere around there, the depth starts at the drop-off. But that place is probably closer to the depth. In general, we'll check both these corners with the spinning rod. Look, here's another rock and it has very beautiful crystals on it. Oh, what's this? In my opinion, this mineral looks very similar to yellow-white cubic calcite. But if you know for sure what it is, please write to me in the comments under the video. After I started making fire, using a primitive method, using different stones, minerals, I began to examine their texture and become more interested. Reading about their origin and other nuances. In general, it's interesting, very interesting, and I got excited. And now I look at stones differently. So for me, it's not just some random pebble, right? It's a mineral, and they're all beautiful in their own way. And there are different rare ones. In general, it's actually an interesting hobby and passion. So now I approach it differently and pay more attention to what's under my feet. Especially on such uninhabited islands where I've never been, to find such minerals. Wow, it's very beautiful, it's interesting, it's a memory. Wow, it's so interesting here, it's so interesting here. Even such treasures are lying under my feet. Cool, there are also lots of broken minerals here. Transparent, different, beautiful. Look, similar to what I found, only it's solid. Solid all the way through, no little crystals inside. I don't know if you can see it or not. I hope the camera focused. And here's a completely transparent one, similar to chalcedony. But I don't think it's chalcedony, although I'll take a piece of steel and try to strike it, see if it sparks or not. Very interesting. Come on, let's try it. I took an iron plate and these different minerals that I just found on the way. Look, I don't know if the camera is focusing or not. I hope it is. I'll try this one first. You just need to strike it like a match against a matchbox. Wow. Friends, can you see it or not? Wow, listen. It's crumbling from it like, I don't know, like silicon from a lighter. Wow, really? Very much so. Wow. It even makes a sound in the air like a sparkler. So friends, such a little thing turned out to be very useful. With its help, I'll be able to make fire. Wow, cool, cool, I'm happy. Oh, here's a really thin one. Look at this. I'm shocked, friends. None of my minerals gave such strong sparks. Despite my small strategic supply of food and water, my main task is to survive on this island by using natural resources to the maximum. So I use any little opportunity to replenish my freshwater supply. And this rain right here is just that opportunity. Done. A couple more of these bottles and it'll be enough. On Shark Island, when I was there the second time, that's when 1.5 liter bottle filled up in about 35 minutes. The rain didn't stop, and the sun was slowly setting. I decided not to miss the chance, took my fishing rod and headed to the fishing spot, hoping to accomplish an additional mission, namely, to try to catch a shark. So, I'm not far away now. Rocky surface. I didn't even wear anything on top. The mosquitoes will eat me alive along with those sand flies. But I want to save my sweater so it stays somewhat dry, because I'm tired of walking around wet. Let the mosquitoes bite, because the rain is drizzling and I don't want to wet my things. So I'm almost going to the fishing spot, almost naked. Almost there now. Dangerous. The baits were flying into the water and the sky was getting more and more covered with rain clouds. I didn't lose hope and kept fishing. I know there are sharks here. The main thing is to send the bait to the right place at the right moment, and I'll definitely succeed. So this bait is significantly slower sinking for this kind of place. The waves are big here. You need to cut through both the wave and the current. So I'll use a heavier bait. This bait might not be heavier by weight, but in terms of body to weight ratio, it sinks faster underwater. It wobbles stronger and copes with strong currents. This one is more leisurely, but I love it. But now is the time for this model, which was given to me by Australian blogger Kevy. But that's another story. The lure doesn't pop out of the water. Plays very well underwater, resists against strong currents. I don't know if you've seen it or not. A small one, that same barracuda jumped right out behind my lure. It pursued and then leaped like this. In general, the lure is great. This lure is better suited for this spot. When the sun went down, I returned to camp, took the spear in my hands, and went crab hunting. Oh, friends, I think I'll have to take equipment for underwater hunting and dive underwater. After that, I decided to engage in night underwater hunting. Perhaps luck will be on my side tonight. And I'll manage to catch another big barracuda. And suddenly, on the horizon, I saw something shiny. A fairly large fish was reflecting the light from my flashlight. It was very close to the coral reef. And in such conditions, it's better to hunt with a spear, because if I shoot with a crossbow, I might break or damage my harpoon. Or it might get stuck in the coral reef so deeply that I won't be able to retrieve it. So I just tried to spear the fish as if with a spear. And I didn't do it well. The fish started to disappear into the darkness. I know that a wounded fish won't swim far. The main thing is not to lose sight of it. And on the next attempt, I finally managed to catch it. There's the catch. I immediately hook the caught fish onto a rescue buoy, just in case my catch attracts sharks, as I suddenly saw under a big rock eyes shining. I dove underwater and swam closer, and saw that it was a blue-spotted stingray. I swam around to the other side and saw its eyes. I had a choice before me, to shoot and take this catch, or give it a chance. Because just now, I already caught myself dinner. Friends, what would you do in my place? If you want me to catch the stingray and cook it on the fire, then let's try to get the necessary number of likes for this additional mission. I'm sure it's very easy for you. The more likes, the more challenging and interesting the additional mission. The caught fish needs to be cleaned thoroughly. And now, to cook my catch, I need to make a fire. Gather some dry twigs. And to make fire, I used a steel plate and a newfound mineral. It gives a very strong spark. Then with a knife, I sharpened a stick on which I'll cook the fish. I sat by the fire, roasted the fish, and thought about my trap. I was very curious if I would catch anything. I couldn't wait for tomorrow morning to check together with you. Friends, I wanted to share my emotions with you before I forget. Protective gear, a suit, is very important during hunting, especially somewhere far away, especially if you're diving alone. Diving alone is not allowed. It's not necessary, it's very bad. It's wrong. It's wrong. I think you noticed during the daytime video, my right shoulder, it's covered in pimples. Because I went diving without a suit and got lobsters. When I saw them, I didn't think about anything, because they're rarely found underwater. I lifted this rock with both hands, like this, like this. I got the lobster out and didn't think that I scratched my shoulder against the coral reef. And now everything here is burning, covered in pimples. They hurt and itch, and it's already the 5th day. And it doesn't go away. And you, as usual, write your predictions in the comments under the video. Will I catch anything with the trap or not? The fish was very hot, so it was very difficult to hold it in my hands. Nearby I found a piece of coral, cleaned it from sand, and put the fish on top. It will be like a makeshift plate. Delicious fish, lean, not fatty, but very tasty. Friends, all together, enjoy your meal. And I eagerly and appetizingly picked it apart to the smallest bone. Ate all the meat and even picked apart the head. The last juicy piece. Thanks, nature. No food left behind. Now I can go to sleep. Friends, only if you like my videos, be sure to give a thumbs up. It's only 2 seconds for you, but it's a big help for me. And I see your feedback. I understand that you like videos about survival on inhabited islands. Thank you all and good night. Bye! Hello everyone! And today is the 5th day on the deserted island. It's already dawn. The sun is slowly rising. So I need to grab my fishing rod and head to the fishing spots. Thanks to your likes on the video, every day I receive an additional mission. In the tropical climate, the morning is the best time to try to catch fish with a fishing rod. So at dawn, during low tide, I immediately climbed onto the rocks to try my luck. I promise to catch a shark, and I won't return from this island until I complete your additional mission. Switching to poppers. As you can see, it's already rigged. And there, along the current, fish are chasing fry. It's clear that some predator is hunting, but I won't reach there. Too far. A small tuna was chasing my bait. Like a rookie, I caught it from the boat, almost the same size as my bait. Most likely it's right there when I cast. You can see a splash of a school of fish. Most likely it's a tuna and it's lurking. It was funny. The shark didn't want to bite my bait, so I decided to return to the camp, moray eel, because of yesterday's underwater hunting at night plus spearfishing. In general, I didn't sleep much tonight. I decided to take a little nap now and rest a bit. And meanwhile, underwater, my trap continued to attract the attention of the inhabitants of the coral reef. I managed to get some sleep and regain my strength. After that, I continued to arrange my camp more comfortably. And while I was sleeping, I even dreamed that some big fish swam into my trap. I'm really looking forward to checking if it's true. I hope this dream comes true. And what's this? A big stone? Darn it. If the water level rises now, I won't waste time. I'll grab my spearfishing gun or spear, gear, mask and snorkel and dive underwater. I'll explore this whole coral reef. I'll check and also see where it ends, where the drop-off is, where there should be big fish. The ebb tide has begun. It's time to check the trap. Did I catch anything? And while I haven't retrieved it yet, write your predictions in the comments under the video. So friends, I set sail while you watch to make sure no shark follows me. And the predictions, did I catch something in the trap or not? Write your answer in the comments. The water level dropped. How will I get there? You can just walk there now. I was very curious about what was happening underwater. How are things around my trap? Did I catch anything or not? So, I see the bait is still in place, which means the shark didn't take it. Well, and there's nothing in the trap either. Let's check the camera. Did we capture an interesting moment or nothing at all? But I've already shown you the most beautiful and interesting moments. Friends, this is my first time on this island. And here's a ship docking near the shore, not far from where I set up my camp. I try to be as inconspicuous as possible, because there are kind people, and there are not very kind ones. So it's better not to attract unnecessary attention to myself, because I often walk around the island. I go very far from my camp, and at the same time I leave some equipment, my personal belongings, fishing gear. And there have already been situations when a fisherman's boat docked, who noticed my hammock there, some things, and some people don't hesitate to just come up, pick up, touch, look, and some even put on someone else's shoes and sail away from the island with those shoes. But I don't want to take risks. That's why I don't want to attract additional attention, especially when people are in such remote places. These are often avid fishermen or poachers, which is quite likely, and such people will be very surprised that a foreigner is on a completely uninhabited island, and this will definitely attract their attention. They'll want to park, chat, see what I have, what I'm doing here. And then I'll worry even more that I can't leave my things unattended and go to the other side of the island. So I sit quietly, waiting for this boat to sail away, and then I'll continue organizing, exploring this island. And when the sun has started to set behind the horizon, and the sky is once again covered with rain clouds, I took my spearfishing gear, crossbow in hand, and dived underwater, hoping to catch myself some prey. The water was a bit murky. On the horizon, I saw schools of fish, but I never saw any big catch. I didn't lose hope and continued my spearfishing. Many viewers of my channel noticed that my underwater gun has 3 rubber bands installed. These are called rubber bands. So I wanted to explain. This underwater gun was custom made, especially for me. For marine underwater hunting, they usually use a long spear gun. But in my case, with frequent travels, I wanted a compact gun, but still powerful, and that's why they made this crossbow with 3 bands. And depending on the location, as well as the likely size of the caught fish, I can choose the power of my crossbow. If the fish is small and the shooting distance is short, I use only 1 band. If the fish is medium-sized and the distance is a bit longer, I use 2 bands. But if there's a chance of encountering big fish in this location, and the water is clear and the fish keeps its distance, I use all 3 bands for the strongest and longest shot. And the most convenient thing is that if I only need 1 band, I don't need to remove the other 2. I just need to lower them down and not use them. And at any suitable moment, load the remaining bands and increase the power of the crossbow. A slight wind picked up. The sky was getting darker and darker. I still didn't manage to catch myself any prey. So at sunset, I took my fishing rod and returned to the fishing spot, hoping to catch a shark. I was sure I would catch a big fish. Now these are the conditions for fishing. Yes, this is the element. Uninhabited island. Raging waves. The ocean. And I stand trying to catch fish. Oh well. Friends, I remind you that the more likes under this video, the more difficult and interesting the additional mission will be. Where's the big fish? Wow, look at this beauty. the popper lure named Gerasim flew into battle. With its help, in the second season of Shark Island, I caught a shark. I see some fish activity. I cast right there. Honestly, friends, I'm already exhausted. My back hurts and my shoulders and arms too. The fishing rod and reel are very heavy. Plus, the bait weighs about 100 grams, tossing it back and forth, constantly repeating the retrieval. The waves are rocking nicely too. Overall, physically, this fishing is also very tough. After fishing, I felt such a peaceful serenity that I just sat on top of the cliff, watched the ocean, watched the sun set behind the horizon, and just dreamed. Friends, look at the reel of my spinning rod. Hey, buddy. Hi. Will it be okay? Since the previous series got 21,000 likes on the first day, this means that today I got an additional mission to catch a stingray, and I've seen the place where it lives several times already. So when night fell, I took a crossbow, mask and snorkel and dived underwater, and swam to the spot where I saw the stingray yesterday. But when I arrived at the spot, I didn't see it there. At first I was really disappointed. But literally seconds later, from the left side, a stingray emerges. I didn't hesitate, aimed with the crossbow, and made a precise shot on the go. The stingray is very strong, immediately started resisting and defending itself with its tail. This stingray is called a blue-spotted stingray. It's quite venomous. So right after the shot, I increased the distance immediately, so that the wounded aggressive stingray wouldn't injure me with its tail. It's very dangerous. Here on the island, I'm alone and won't receive any medical help. I can only rely on myself and my strength. There's food. After which I pulled the catch onto the shore. There's food, friends. One must be very careful. This tail is dangerous. It has a venomous spine it can use to injure. Look at this spine. It opens here and strikes with this spine. Took a knife and additionally sedated it. But with the crossbow, I secured and immobilized its dangerous tail. Big catch. And another additional mission accomplished. Well, friends, this time I caught such a big stingray. I'll just say that when I have a choice, I don't touch stingrays. I let them go. Also, I want to add that they eat these stingrays here. Catch them without any problems. There's no prohibition on it. And now I'm in survival mode on a deserted island. So any catch for me is food. And I didn't have any other option. So I had to take this stingray. Now I'll clean it, salt it, and tomorrow morning, I'll cook it nicely. I'll show you and try how it tastes. That's the catch for today. I'll use this liver as bait for crab traps. And I'll leave the intestines too. Let's see if crabs will gather on them. And you can also cut open the stomach of this stingray and see what it ate today. Let's cut it open. Take a look. Nothing interesting. I'll remove anything that could spoil. All the blood vessels. Everything needs to be released. It's the blood that spoils first. Everywhere. Gill covers and blood. So if you drain all the blood and remove the gill covers, then the fish, well, the stingray included, can last much longer without a refrigerator. And especially if you salt it, it'll be even better. Done. I'll salt it, wrap it up, and it'll last until morning for sure. I cleaned the stingray very well, removed all the elements that spoil first, salted it and stored it. I'll cover it with something. And in the morning I'll start cooking it first thing. But first I need to make a fire. So I'll gather branches and dry grass. Now whose tracks are these? Look at these claws. And a tail. It could be a monitor lizard. Headed somewhere that way. So the fire is controlled. I surrounded it with stones in a circle. It'll be a makeshift grill. And to get the fire, I'll use the stick again and rotate it with my hands until sparks appear. Transferred the spark to dry grass and fanned the fire. Well, friends, I'll let the stingray roast. While it's roasting on the coals, I'll take a spear and dive, hunt underwater for a bit. Look, my stingray is in the water, and here comes a shark. Listen to the sound it's making. It's swimming towards the sound. It hears everything. Sharks are known to hunt rays. She sniffed the smell of a ray and wants to try a piece. That's the catch I'll be cooking over the fire. Forgot to cut off a spine for myself as a memento. Here it is, look. When they catch a ray, it attacks with this spine. You need to break it off or cut it. And even here, there are two of them. Look, a double spine like this. See? I'll keep one for myself as a memento. Look, the shark swam away. Look right now. The fire has ignited and good coals have formed. I'll grill the ray on them. The catch was quite big. These rays will last me a long time. Well, friends, I think it's time to eat. I'll eat what's been prepared. I'll trim the tail, and I'll put the head on top. Let it roast a bit more, because anyway, I won't eat it all at once, and there's no point in waiting. So I'll be nibbling on the already cooked parts. I'll roast this tail like a sausage afterwards. This dish turned out pretty good, right? Look what a beauty. Almost bronze. Bronze red like that. Smoked ray. Blue spotted ray tail smoked. Help yourselves. Who wants a piece cut off? Okay, I'll start from here, from the fin. Oh, it's hot, but it looks ready. Interesting. Another fin. Fatty. The meat is tender and fatty. Listen, it's very tasty. It's very tasty. So what about the tail? Oops. I'll cut off the tail and put it to roast on the coals. By the way, I thought I could cut off the head and throw it into a crab trap and put it, for example, underwater. Anyway, I won't eat the head and everything edible around it. Let the tail roast like a sausage. It'll be for the evening for me. Damn, it's so juicy, friends. Take a piece and it just drips. Look at this juicy piece. When I saw the reaction of a small shark to the ray meat, I came up with the idea of using a piece of it as bait and trying to complete the very first additional mission, namely catching a shark. I had already forgotten how tasty ray is, friends. Very tasty, very tasty. Friends, thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, only then give it a thumbs up. And be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the new series. Share this video with your friends and very soon you'll see the continuation. See you all later. Hello friends, and today marks the 7th day on this deserted island. I tried to complete the mission of catching prey using a trap from AliExpress. So, today, from early morning, I found a suitable place to set up the trap. And all day long, I'll hope that some prey will swim into it. It's still low tide right now, so the depth here is very shallow. But it'll be easier for me to set up the trap. I laid it out and weighted it with stones. As bait, I threw in some leftover stingray. And by the way, I still have the second half of the stingray for today. But I really hope that with the trap, I'll manage to catch something. And I'll be able to complete this additional mission. The trap is set. I decided not to waste any time. I took the crossbow and swam along the coral reef in search of prey. But I had no idea that there was already activity near my trap. Look at this striped fish. I'm sure it noticed my camera. It seemed like it deliberately kept coming back and posing in front of the lens, swimming from one angle, then from another, and after a while, it called its friends too, and then they all posed together in front of the camera. And I'm sure you didn't even notice that in the middle of the frame, above the big black rock, a whole school of sargassos was floating near the surface. If I had a casting net, I could try to catch this school. While on the shore, I attended to my own affairs. I was very curious about what was happening underwater at that moment. Perhaps something had already swum into my trap, but I had no idea that at that moment there was a fairly large shark circling near my trap. Most likely it caught the scent of a stingray. Who watched Survival on a Desert Island with Sharks? The second part. He knows that I had 2 such traps, and one of them, last season, was torn apart by a shark. I hope this trap stays intact. This time, I've set myself a challenge. To try to survive on the island until my channel reaches 1 million subscribers. Whether I'll succeed or not, we'll find out soon. And after lunch, the sky clouded over again, and it started raining. Honestly, during the rain, it's a bit of a break for me, to take a little rest. At the same time, I can replenish my fresh water supply. 15 minutes was enough to fill a whole bottle of water, though I did miss a moment. Some bark got in there and the water turned yellow. I'll use it for something sanitary or to boil something. Anyway, it'll come in handy. And now I'll collect it. This bottle and another one without bark, without leaves. I'll gather clean water so that it can be filtered and drunk. Oops, let's remove it. And now it needs to be poured into a bottle with a lid. Friends, will there be a rainbow or not? Very beautiful. The sun is already coming out, but it's still raining. The water didn't turn out super clean, but still, this fresh water will be useful to me. Plus, I'll take the one I found in the bottle. And now I'll gather some rainwater again. If it rains again, the bottle will fill up, but this time with clean water. Several more hours passed, and I decided to put on a mask and snorkel and dive underwater to check my trap. But this time there was nothing in the trap. I was a little disappointed and returned to the shore. Maybe I'll set the trap again for the night. After all, at night there's a slight chance of catching a lobster or crab. I pulled the trap onto the shore and took a spear gun in my hands. I returned underwater and swam along my bay, but encountered nothing interesting on my way. When I climbed onto the shore, I decided to make a fire and warm up a bit. For this, I'll need my catch bag where I kept the crabs. Or more precisely, the rope at the base of this bag. I'll also need a small branch. This will be the handle. And of course I'll need dry grass. So, to make fire I'll need a curved stick, which I'll make into a bow. I'll tie this rope around it, and it'll be the bow. But the bowstring shouldn't be tightly stretched here. It should be loose. To wrap it, make a few turns around this rod. This is the main drill that will make fire. This is the wooden handle that will fit into my hand. Fits like this. And this part of the drill will rest against my palm, so it doesn't press into my hand. And the wooden plate in which I'll be drilling the hole, where it should be, where the spark should form. I transfer the spark to a dry coconut husk. I blow on the ember. Then transfer this ember to dry grass and make fire. Let's try if it works or not. After underwater hunting, I decided to make a fire and warm up a bit, and also to keep the fire going throughout the evening, because it will darken very soon, and making fire won't be so comfortable. At the same time, I'll show you another fire-making technique without matches, lighters, or even a flint. and at this moment I thought it was cool to show all the stages in detail on camera. But I missed the point that my Panama hat has a visor, which I've now successfully used to cover the camera lens. But I think the viewers who watch my channel already know and don't doubt that this technique works, and I know how to use it. In general, with the help of this primitive bow, a small stick and dry grass, I managed to make fire, without using matches, lighters, or even a flint. That's how, friends, with the imitation of a bow, a drill, and a base, I managed to get fire. And I still have barracuda left. 3 more pieces. Oh, so juicy. I'll sit down and eat. Honestly, it's not as juicy as it used to be, because the fish has gone bad a bit, despite being smoked on the fire for a long time. Nevertheless, barracuda mixed with skate meat satisfied my appetite, and also restored my strength a bit. On the ocean shore, I saw a large sea snake washed up. As far as I know, it's a sea crate, one of the most venomous and dangerous snakes in the world. But it's not aggressive towards humans at all. It only poses a danger if stepped on. And since this snake hunts fish and is very afraid of humans, and not without reason, because I've long wanted to catch a crate and cook it. And if you support this idea, give a thumbs up under this video. Or I can add this point to the list of additional missions. By the way, check out my new headlamp. How brightly it shines. First mode, second mode, third mode, and turbo mode. I think it's awesome. The sun has set below the horizon, and night has fallen. I took the spear and walked along the shore to look for an additional source of food. So far, I haven't found anything interesting. But friends, I'm not losing hope. In any case, I'll take my mask and snorkel and dive underwater. Took the spear, everything as usual. The catch bag, and I'll walk along the shore. I'll take a look. Sometimes big crabs come out before bedtime. Snakes come out. And at the moment, the #1 goal is to find a sea snake. Very often, they come out onto the sand like this, especially near the mangrove bushes or rocks. I want to catch the snake and cook it. If you support this idea, give a thumbs up and wish me luck. Such night hunting can be called almost a passive source of food. Well, completely passive hunting is traps, when they catch food themselves while I'm doing something else. But night hunting is a bit easier, because with a flashlight, the light from the lantern, I can blind the fish, or catch a sleeping fish, or do something like that. Find crawling crabs. And try to catch them. This little guy is completely... After that, I returned to the camp, took the equipment for underwater hunting and dived underwater. Because at night you can either catch something very interesting, or at least see. The underwater world at night is very different from what we are used to seeing during the day. So, I don't miss such an opportunity. And every night before bed, I always engage in night underwater hunting. But friends, I repeat once again, engaging in underwater hunting alone is strictly prohibited. Don't repeat what I do, especially at night, especially in places where there is no chance to call for help. It's very dangerous for life. In general, I wanted to share my emotions with you before I forgot. Night underwater hunting. It's always something very unexpected and very interesting. What we cannot see in 90% of our lives. What happens in the ocean, underwater at night. Namely, Peaceful fish fall asleep and predators go hunting. It was very interesting. At first I swam with a spear. Actually, before I went into the water, I couldn't decide for a long time. Take a spear or a crossbow. I thought the fish would be asleep. So, I would need to shoot at the coral reef. And of course, a spear is more convenient in these conditions. Then shooting with a crossbow and damaging my harpoon. In general, I still decided on the spear. I swim, I see small fish. And suddenly under a rock, I see a huge grouper. Or it was a red bass, or it was a coral grouper. Of large size. The fish is very large. I immediately understand that with a spear, I won't be able to take it. I mean, even if I injure the fish, it will just swim away. I swim back. The grouper sits in a hole under a rock. I fix my spear so that it sticks out of the rock. Friends, a big fish underwater. Found a cave. In that cave sits a big one. Either a red bass or a grouper. A big black fish. I definitely can't handle this fish with a spear. I run for the crossbow. A crossbow is urgently needed. The fish is big. Quickly, quickly, quickly. I stick the spear in a rock to mark the place where this fish is. Quickly return to the shore. Take the crossbow and swim to that buoy where my spear is sticking out. I swim there, turn on the camera, dive with the crossbow. And what do you think? Of course, there was no one under the rock anymore. I was very disappointed. The fish was really about 4-5 kilograms, so it would have been a big trophy. I was very disappointed. But after a minute, those emotions faded into the background. Because underwater, I meet While I was dealing with this grouper, in the distance I saw glowing eyes. And I know that such eyes usually belong to sharks. That is, to nocturnal hunters. The flashlight reflects in their eyes. That is, peaceful fish don't have glowing eyes. But in the distance, such a beacon lit up. This means that most likely a shark is swimming. Or some predator. In general, I look and in the distance I notice something glowing. I think probably a shark or a fish tank. At that moment, I got caught on a buoy. I unhooked the buoy. Still, I think I'll swim and see what this glowing spot is. And when I approached, I saw some fish sitting in a large coral reef. But when I approached closer, I understand, friends, that it's not a coral reef. It's a giant stingray. The stingray's tail was more than 1.5 meters long, that's for sure. Incredibly large, spotted, all in such dots. A very big stingray, and I froze. I didn't know what to do. I just understand, you see, that it's very big. I know there are cases when these rays defend themselves and hit with their tails, and sometimes it ends in a lethal outcome. It's a very dangerous creature, and it's better not to disturb it, and I didn't know at what safe distance I could approach it, so that I could examine it, to show you, but at the same time so that it wouldn't sting me with its tail and harm me. I really was afraid to approach it closely. Provoked its reaction. Approached from one side, looked from the other side, and in the end, it flapped its wings and swam into the depths. A very big stingray. I've never encountered such a big stingray underwater in real life. I was just shocked. Friends, only if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. And be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss new episodes. Share this video with your friends. Maybe they'll like my channel too. Thank you all very much. Goodbye.